welcome to another episode of Your Brain Decoded. So in today's episode, we're going to be going over one of the core fundamental basics in your brain and how you grow. And that is the 4 stages of learning. Now, when I first learned about this, it was life-changing because it made me go from a point where I had no idea how to teach myself things. I thought I knew, but I really didn't, to I could learn anything. And I knew exactly where I was in the process. So there's 4 stages of this. Now, this is really important, and it might be important to you because you might want to teach yourself something new or unlearn something else, or perhaps grow in your own personal life or teach your employees something. And again, the best way to teach someone else something is to learn how to teach it to yourself first. So these 4 stages of learning are going to give you such a competitive advantage over anybody else, in where you can basically go around and at any point, if you ever need to pick something up, you can get there. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that in today's video. I'm so excited for this because this was super life-changing for me, and I'm excited to share it with you. So let's go over. I'm going to get my DIY whiteboard and let's break it down. Okay, let's start out here. Here are the 4 stages of learning. We're going to put it into 4 boxes like that. So here are our 4 boxes. Now in the first box, we have what's called unconscious incompetence, which means you don't know what you don't know. So this is 1 right here. Now, in stage 2, we have conscious incompetence, which means you know what you don't know. So, in these beginning 2 right here, the typical things you're going to notice are that unconscious incompetence stage. Those are a lot of the times, again, if you're going to teach this to someone or you're teaching within yourself, that's when you don't know. So people who are entirely clueless, I'm sure you've been in a position where you've seen something, you're like, you have no idea how ridiculous you sound. It's because they don't know what you know, or they don't know what they don't know. And that means you're basically completely lost. You have no clue. So your goal is to get from here to here, step number 2, which is conscious incompetence, which means you know what you don't know. So you need to get to this step first, from here to here. Now in step number 3 here, you have what's called conscious competence. Conscious competence. So with conscious competence, that's you can consciously be competent at it. It means you have to make a conscious effort to do it. So say you're going from here to here to here, and you've been doing it consciously with some conscious effort for a while now, and after a while, it almost becomes habitual, like it goes on autopilot. And that's what's called unconscious competence, which is the 4th stage here. So here we have unconscious competence. So again, unconscious incompetence, which means you don't know what you don't know. Conscious incompetence, which means you now know what you don't know and you know what you need to go learn. And then when you start to do it, you have to do it consciously, because you can't just do it like, without thinking. You actually have to do it. And then it becomes unconscious competence, which means it becomes a part of you. And then you transition up to this point right here in a state of being right here. So this is being. That's what's called being. And this is what's called doing. Not doing and not knowing what you're not doing. But on these 2, you want to be on these end right here. You want to be doing and then being, because the more you do, you end up becoming so good at it that you can do it without thinking about it, and you go into the state of being. Similarly, when we look at the diagram of the unconscious and subconscious and conscious mind, which I'll do right here really quickly here, we've got the 3 layers. You've got your conscious mind, your subconscious, and your unconscious. when you're in the doing phase, you're consciously doing it with your conscious mind. And then the more you do it, your subconscious picks up on, since you're doing this all the time, that it's emotionally relevant. And your subconscious, it's like a auto-executing program. That's where all your programming is. Because we act from here, which is where our feelings are. Like whenever we get into flow state, we're doing our programming. And this is like feelings, your programming, your societal conditioning, your any sort of conditioning. Like basically when you're not thinking and you're just on autopilot, this is the subconscious. This is where we're coming from right here. So when you get into the being state, the unconscious competence, you end up going into the subconscious realm here, and it trickles down from the conscious to the subconscious, and it's on autopilot, and that's where it becomes easy, like super easy, is when it's like right here, and you're coming from right here. This is where it becomes super, super easy. So say if we're gonna go and we want to explain something to someone, like you're gonna teach your employees something, you would first have to ask probing questions to get an idea of what they don't know, because you always need to assume they don't even know that they don't know. Like they're completely unaware. Like they have no idea. Like for example, if you're gonna teach someone how to ride a bike, they don't even know that there's pedals on the bike. They might not even know. So you've got to get a gauge of what exactly they don't know. So you have to start asking questions. And again, always assume they have no freaking clue at all. Always assume they have no stinking clue whatsoever. Because when you do that, you can start asking probing questions and find out what they don't know. Because when you find out what they don't know, then you can tell them, again, what they need to know. And then you can help them practice it through exercise, telling them why it's emotionally relevant to it, because again, the more you do and the more you find out why it's emotionally relevant to you, the quicker you get over here. So you would have them practice, you would tell them why it's important, and then you would go over here and of course in here, because these are the same. This is where this is where this exists right here. So again, the more emotionally relevant, knowing how the subconscious, the conscious, and the unconscious work, the more emotionally relevant it is, it gets stored right here. Again, unconscious incompetence, you don't know. Conscious incompetence, you know what you don't know. Conscious competence, you have to do it with conscious effort. And then unconscious competence, meaning you just do it like no one's walking, like back your hand, like what? And it's just this being. You're not showing off here, it's literally just become part of you at this point. So these are the 4 stages of learning. Again, maybe you want to teach yourself something. So to find out what you don't know, you increase awareness right here. This is what you need to do, increase awareness. Increase, you can even say it with me here. Increase awareness to get from here to here. Right here, from here to here, you need to increase your awareness. And then to get from here to here, you need to make it exercise, whatever you're doing, or practice, and show emotional relevance. So you exercise, practice, show emotional relevance to yourself or whoever you're teaching it to get from here to here. So again, you want to go from 1, 2, 3 to 4. So again, increase awareness to get to the conscious incompetence, so you know what you don't know. And again, this is always happening. This never stops. The more you get good at this, then even you still increase your awareness all the time, because you don't know. So you increase your awareness, and then more of the bits and pieces of whatever you're trying to learn go through this whole phase. Because you can be really good at something, but just because you're really good at something and you get here with it, doesn't mean there's not more to learn. Again, the second you let your ego get in the way of it, that's when you screw up. So don't think you know everything. You don't know everything. Nobody on this planet knows everything. Just period. Understand that. Here. You don't know everything. You don't know everything. You need to understand this right here. The you don't know everything and live that. Not to the point to where it becomes self-defeating, but just be aware. Be aware. Be aware that you don't know everything. That doesn't mean you're stupid or anything. It's just being aware of it, that you don't know everything, so you're still open to getting more conscious incompetence so you can increase your skills. This doesn't mean you tell someone you don't know everything, like in a demeaning way, and tell them that they're dumb or something like that, because then that actually can put some crappy programming in here where it like makes them unable to learn as quickly. So just be aware of the fact that you don't know everything. You just know that, so that you can still always be learning. Always be learning. So unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, unconscious competence. Here is the end goal, is where you want to be. Now the whole journey is really fun because at any point you can ask yourself, where are you at on this scale? Any point you can ask yourself that. So instead of just trying to do the thing or trying to learn it and not knowing where you're at and wondering why you keep screwing up and then getting upset with yourself, just reference this diagram. Reference this diagram. Screenshot it on your phone if you have to. I'll put a link in there so you can get it through Google Drive. This is literally it. Unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. I think I've explained it pretty thoroughly here. Again, if you're I'll give you one more specific example before we end the video. You want to teach someone how to install lighting fixtures, and they have no idea how to use a power tool. Again, get a gauge of what they don't know, or in your self case, get a gauge of what you don't know. Start asking questions. Just increase your awareness here to get to this stage right here, so you know what you need to teach yourself. And then start doing what you taught yourself. Practice it to get to this, the conscious competence, and then continue to do it, and then continue to exercise, practice, and show emotional relevance to your subconscious, to yourself, so it's emotionally important to you. And then you get to the point where you become unconscious competence and you go into a state of being, and you're operating from the subconscious again. And that's where it becomes super easy. And again, then still also have the idea that you don't know everything, so there's still more that you can learn. That might be a little bit of a better slogan here. There's always something you can learn to increase your abilities. So again, then you can get more information here and then implement it into your program that you've got running in your subconscious, that you've gotten from here to here and put in here. So that is the whole chart, the whole diagram. I hope you found that really helpful. Again, everybody can use this. This is literally like personal growth 101. Super, super, super important. I hope this really affects you in a positive way, because I mean, for me, holy moly, I mean, that was so eye-opening to me that I knew where I was at, because I had no idea. I had no roadmap for where I was going before. So having a roadmap where you're going, like if you say, I'm going to go to Wyoming and I'm going to start in California, and you just go around and then you ask someone and you ask someone, I mean, you might get there eventually, but if you have a roadmap, it's 10 times easier, because you can real time reference where you're at and say, okay, so I need to go this direction. Just live by this right here. It is so, again, live by it, learn it, and get it into the 4 stages. And because eventually you'll get it here, and you'll just start picking things up then, and it becomes an auto program. This becomes an auto program for you, and then you learn everything way easier. So again, super important. Psychology Basics 101, Learning Basics 101. I hope you enjoyed the video. Share it with people that you think could benefit. I know everyone can benefit from this. Again, if you have anyone that wants to learn anything, send this to them. If you'd like, click the share button. If you like the video, of course, you can like it. And I really, again, I'll leave a PDF in the bottom for you as well, so you can screenshot it on your phone. Good luck, guys. I'm really excited to share this with you. Thank you.